Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Carson. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's complete into the hands of Carson. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's focus our attention on the offensive line and Brandon Sheriff, the 1st-round pick in 2015. In fact, the first lineman taken at number 5 overall, an offensive tackle in college, transitioned very well to guard in the NFL. Solid, reliable, 2 traits you love in an offensive lineman. How about tough, physical, and nasty? He's an Iowa offensive lineman. Those guys play well in the NFL.
7 yards there and a 1st down. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. 6 catches, 81 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans, they're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Miles Sanders first carry of the game. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Back to throw. Burns. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Sanders. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Bird. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. On 1st down, Bird. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A very solid gain of 27.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and pick.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Miles Sanders, touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Allen. And he's got the hook up to Moore. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Throwing is Allen on third. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bird. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bird. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He'll try and run it. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Check right, check right.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Bird. Being chased out left. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bird. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 21 yards away. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast. But a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. To the air, Allen looking for the out route, and he's got more. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The tackle by Quincy Williams.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Allen going to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Let's go.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40 and down to the 29-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Off the play fake. Bird. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Back to throw. Bird. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Joe Schobert coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Joker.
Looking to throw. Bird. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Mike 5-4.
To throw on third down. Bird. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Out come the Jaguars now, as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Bird. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Operating from the gun. Bird. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Shift. Watch the shift.
From the gun. Bird. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Going for it with Sanders. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Looking to throw. Bird. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off-play action. Bird, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over.
And a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out come the Jags. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, Dillon, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. On the base. 54. Right, 54. I got you, son. I got you, son. Right there. 54. Right.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Bird. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
On third down, it's Carson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far.
That's it, buddy. We gon' work.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it? Rush coming, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Jaguars on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Back to throw. Bird. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Hill on the return. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk. To come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him.
And he's got his target. That's more. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 36.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Allen's throw is complete, and he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Allen again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Jags grab it.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go again with Sanders. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing on first down. Bird steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46.
53, check 53.
Off the play fake. Bird. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and...
That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 36 yards on the play. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Looking to throw. Bird. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Josh Allen and the offense now. Down by 13, a minute 40 remaining. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. First down, and they're going to throw Ronaldo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. After the sack on first down, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Let's go, Heavy.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. Flushed out right. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call him?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Back to throw. Byrne. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Dancing to his left. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Jaguars,